CompTIA Cloud Plus Resource Lifecycle Management. Let's begin by defining Resource Lifecycle Management according to CompTIA. Resource Lifecycle Management is a key component of cloud operations, encompassing how cloud resources are provisioned, maintained, and decommissioned. This involves managing cloud resources from creation to retirement, ensuring efficiency, cost-effectiveness, and compliance throughout the entire process. The first phase of the lifecycle is provisioning and configuration. Resources, for example, compute, being server-based or serverless, storage, such as file, object, and block storage, and networking, are provisioned based on workload requirements. Automation tools like infrastructure as code, such as Terraform, Ansible, CloudFormation from Amazon Web Services, are often used to ensure consistency and repeatability. Phase 2 is monitoring and optimization. Observability is achieved through logging, metrics, and tracing, and the resources are scaled horizontally, which is scaling out and scaling in, or vertically, scaling up and scaling down based on demand. And horizontal scaling is often done with auto-scaling. Cost optimization includes right-sizing, tagging, and using reserved or spot instances. Phase 3 of the resource lifecycle is choosing between ephemeral and persistent data. Ephemeral data is temporary data tied to the lifecycle of a compute instance, whereas persistent data is data that remains intact beyond the life of the instance. We often call that elastic. Use cases for ephemeral data would be caching, temporary files, and session data. Persistent data would be databases, data lakes, warehouses, logs, backups, and user-generated content. Ephemeral data is an instance store with temporary volumes, often directly attached to a hypervisor cluster or server cluster. Persistent data is located as block storage, object storage, or in file systems. For example, Amazon Web Services Elastic File System EFS or newer FSX. As far as durability is concerned, ephemeral data is lost when the instance is stopped or terminated. Persistent data, again, which is elastic, will be retained until explicitly deleted. Ephemeral data is typically not backed up, whereas persistent data is subject to regular backups and replication. Phase 4 is the EOL or end-of-life strategy, which involves decommissioning resources. This includes terminating unused instances, deleting obsolete storage, and revoking access credentials. Data sanitation, securely erasing data using cryptographic wipe, or data destruction tools to meet compliance, for example, NIST 800-88. Archiving, moving data to cold or archived storage tiers, such as Amazon Glacier, for long-term retention. Change management, documenting and approving EOL actions to avoid service disruption. And then automation, using lifecycle policies, for example, AWS S3 lifecycle rules, to automate transitions and deletions. Amazon S3 also has automatic tiering where it can learn your behavior and store it in the proper tier accordingly, without any user intervention. Here we see another lifecycle to manage resources in the cloud from Oracle. Notice in the middle, we have our applications and business services. We have platform as a service. DBAAS is database as a service. MWAAS is middleware as a service. Oracle's MWAAS includes things like WebLogic as a service, WLAAS, SOA as a service, SOAAAS, Service Bus as a service, SBAAS, and Java Application Service, JVM-AAS. Oracle's first phase is to plan, then set up, then step 3 is build, step 4 is test before step 5 to deploy, step 6 is monitor, step 7 is manage, step 8 is meter and charge, and finally, step 9, optimize. I hope this video on resource lifecycle management was informative for you. I want to thank you for viewing.